Well, uh, hello everyone. Let's start again with our conference. States and events. Well, um, on the field of practical life, we may find different amazing contrasts, right? For example, rich people, talking financially, rich people uh, that, for example, with a lot of friends, they suffer a lot. Suffering too much, right? Rich women or rich men that are suffering too much due to the reality of husbands or wives' infidelity, for example. Right? And this is a reality. Another contrast is, for example, poor people or middle class people where they do live in complete happiness. Living in complete happiness. Sometimes it's possible to find these specific situations as well. Alright? When anyone wants to let us know his or her life, the story of his or her life, usually what they talk about is about the events of their lives, forgetting completely the states. Right? It's something with urgency to know the different states of consciousness. To each event corresponds this or that event. States, when we talk about states, are something internal, right? And events are external. Alright? External events aren't everything. The history of our lives is a series of many different states of consciousness. And the work on ourselves is about the different states of our consciousness. We should work on our states. Right? Now, when we talk about states, we talk about depression, superstition, for example, fear, right? Self-consideration, self-consideration, self-esteem, worries, happiness, and so on. Alright? Events are about dates, physical behaviors, names, and it's just like this. Anyway, states and events are different, right? Good or bad dispositions, for example, are part of our inner states. Depression, worry, superstition, fears of any type, right? Worries, etc., are only part of our inner states, the states of our unconsciousness. That's why we may affirm here that states are something internal, but events are only, they are of the external world, of the physical world. They are part of our third dimension. Names, dates, etc., etc. So that's why our inner states probably may not correspond to the nature of the different events we face daily in our lives. Not always the events correspond exactly with affine states, right? For example, let's see it in this way. The inner state of a pleasant event may not correspond to it. Or the different one, the inner state of an unpleasant event may not correspond to it. Right? That's possible as well. Probably that's possible that in a wedding party, a pleasant event, there are people crying, for example. That's completely possible. At any party it's possible to find people crying, right? Even when it's a party. But probably in an unpleasant event, for example, a car accident, the inner state of the driver, for example, couldn't correspond to it. Probably his or her inner state is very peaceful, right? the person is calm, right? That's possible as well. Alright? The main goal of our topic of this video conference is to learn to combine our inner states with the different events we face daily intelligently, wisely. Alright? Because if we continue reacting mechanically as we've been doing, it is not possible to live wisely. Right? But it's necessary to don't get identified with the different events we face in life daily. Right? Let's see it in a different way. A correct inner state to detect the different state of our consciousness, the different psychological defects that are controlling our lives daily, and that make us to react mechanically, subjectively, in relation, in interaction with the different events daily, is the one of self-observation. If we put in practice the self-observation, we won't get involved in fact, we don't get involved mechanically, subjectively with the event. Alright? Remember, to combine inner states with the external events in a correct way is to know to live intelligently, wisely. No matter how great are the events that we may face daily, if we are not internally in the correct inner state, these great, amazing, and incredible events could be for us, due to our inner states, the most bored situation in our lives. Do we get it? Experience has taught us that not every single person that is in a party is honestly happy, alright? For sure, every single party has one person crying or a bored person, alright? It's very rare to find a person that knows how to combine his or her states, which are something internal, with the corresponding event that the person is facing at that very specific moment. Right? Now, for example, remember something. In the different events of life, we face incredible and necessary experiences to discover ourselves, to discover those specific negative and wrong inner states in order to delete them. Right? So please don't go to a mountain to find your own enlightenment. We do need the different nature of the different events we face in life to know ourselves. To know who we really are, and to know what is necessary to remove from our psyche in order to combine better, in a correct way, the different events we face in life. Right? If we honestly want to become in a wise person, in wise people, it's necessary to know and to discover ourselves during the interaction with the different events that give us the various experiences, to know what our weaknesses are inside of our psyches. What are we made of? So gradually, with the process of self-observation, we'll know better our inner states, those mechanic, unusual reactions when we face specific events. If somebody is being aggressive with us, for example, it's something mechanic, it's usual, it's common to react with, for example, probably fear, aggressive words, right? Revenge, resentment, rancors, hates, etc., right? This is the mechanic reaction due to the reality of our psychological effects that produce and origin all our inner states, right? That's called the discovering of ourselves. So thanks to this practical tool, the sixth sense of humankind, of mankind, and then the inner petition to our Divine Mother, gradually, little by little, we'll be releasing the consciousness to react intelligently, wisely to those diverse, hard, difficult, but necessary events in life. If we want to become someone different, it's necessary to discover ourselves during the interaction with the different events we face in life daily. Alright? Control is different. Control is something different. A wise person may be happy in a party. Why not? Why not? A wise person is probably unhappy in a funeral, but never crying desperately, right? In the middle of violence, a wise person is serene, is prudent. In the middle of a violent event, a wise person is prudent. He or she has a problem with being dancing, for example, being happy, interacting in a nice way with the rest of the people, for example, in the party, right? A wise person has the right to be unhappy, for example, in a funeral. That's normal, but never crying, for example. Never ever crying. Never. But very respectful. And probably a bit unhappy. In the middle of violence, prudent. Right? Calm. But for a chief, these inner states is necessary to firstly discover ourselves, to release this consciousness, these virtues of our inner being. Detecting all those worries, all those weaknesses we do carry inside, all those angers, resentments, rancors, hates, depressions, and so on, in order to delete them, to change our inner states and to become ourselves in something different. Because unfortunately, currently, most of us are weak innerly. Emotionally, mentally, sexually, etc., we are weak. But transforming ourselves through the technique of self-observation to detect all those inner psychological effects, psychological flaws, then with the inner petition to our Divine Mother, we'll release the consciousness, the wisdom, those percentages of our inner sparks, divine sparks, to be in interaction in a wise way next time we face the same event. A car accident, a funeral, or for example, a wedding party, right? In order to combine intelligently, wisely, the different events we face in life, it's necessary to stop that wasting of energy, emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, instinctively, because that's unnecessary. So everything starts by us, from within. Right? So that's why we say here that the psychological illness is inside. Even if we live from party to party, but internally we are sick, emotionally, mentally, even the best party, the best event will be bored for us, right? And facing a harmful, a hard event if we are in the correct inner state, we may transform or change the event we are facing right away. That's more than possible if we remove what is making us to react in a negative and subjective way with the specific events of life. That's why we'll insist always here, always, in this unique tool, psychological depth. With psychological depth, not only we'll discover ourselves, but also at the same time, as a natural consequence of this discovering, we'll remove with our Divine Mother, that female part of God that we carry inside, all those psychological defects that make us react in a mechanic, in a unpleasant and negative way to the different events we face in life. It's necessary to learn to combine intelligently, wisely, the different events we face in life with our own inner states. It means to live wisely. To delete self-consideration, to delete all those worries for what others think or say about us, it's essential, it's crucial if we honestly want to become in something different. If we honestly want to change and want to deserve a radical change from within. Alright? If we are facing a different situation, a different event, for example, a car accident, it's necessary to know where we are located in that specific time. Are we located, for example, psychologically, obviously, emotionally? In this type of inner and mechanical reactions, are we nervous, with fear? Are we feeling anger due to anything involved in that car accident? Are we detecting honestly and seriously these inner reactions that appear, that emerge from inside? Okay. Don't let that these inner mechanical reactions take control of you. Delete them immediately. Now that you detect them, please delete it immediately with your Divine Mother. Mentally, from the bottom of your heart, my Divine Mother, please delete me this anger, this nervous, this fear, this desire of revenge, for example. Whatever you are feeling at that very moment, because this is something of your ego. This is not right. This will complicate more your life. Release your consciousness from within. And your consciousness will tell you how to react consciously when you face any type of event. All of us, without exception, may think about life as we prefer, obviously. We are free to think about life as we want, as we prefer, for sure. Many times we are too complicated. As people, as human beings, we are too complicated and too complex at the same time. But let's remember something. Let's remember something. Everything passes and remains back in time. No matter what, everything passes. Right? So certainly the inner work on ourselves is related with the diverse psychological states of the consciousness. And the most important thing in our lives is our own inner work, more important than our financial situation, is our inner work. Obviously, we need money to live naturally. And money is not something good or bad. Depends on the way we use it. Alright? But for sure, we need money to live on a planet like this. It's necessary to have money, for sure. It's necessary to get a nice job, if possible, in our lives. And try to face the job, even if it's not the job you wanted in your life, with a correct inner state, remembering always that everything passes, no matter what, and remains back in time. And even better than that, please remember to take advantage of those difficult or incredible events to discover yourself, discovering your own inner states, analyze them, reflect on them, and then remember the inner petition to your Divine Mother, that female part of God that is waiting for you in order to delete your own wrong inner states, in order to combine intelligently, wisely, your inner states with the different events we face in life. And it's not a lie that currently in our Earth planet, daily we are facing terrible events. It is not a lie. Each year more, we are facing more terrible and difficult events in our lives. It demands from us to live more wisely, more consciously. But it's not possible through the personality, but through the change of our own inner states with correct procedures. Remember, it's necessary to accept and recognize who we are, but it's only possible through self-observation. 1. To discover them. 2. Reflection. Analysis. And for sure, please don't forget, never ever, remember always yourself. Remember always that inside of you, believe it or not, there is your own Divine Mother waiting for you waiting for your own inner petition in order to delete all those negative and wrong states that you carry in your own psyche since dozens of human existences ago. This female part of God inside of each one of us has the mission of changing our lives in something different, of deleting off all those psychological defects to release the consciousness. If we honestly want to be connected to the highest law of this universe, which is the law of love, and to live permanently with the basic principle of the universe, of life, which is wisdom, it's necessary to become ourselves in something radically different. And it's only possible to combine our inner states intelligently, wisely, with the different events we face in life if we eliminate our own ego. Ego is necessary to develop ourselves, to know ourselves, to know who we sincerely are. But at the same time, inside of our own ego, who represents all our inner states is our own consciousness trapped. Inside of our ego is the 97% of our own inner being. And for sure, there is no doubt about it, our own inner being, our monad, is love, is authentic wisdom. Vibrating in this way, it's a fact to live intelligently, wisely, facing the different events, the ones we experience in life daily. Alright? For our own good, and even for a common good, the whole ego must be deleted. Remember something. Our own philosopher's stone, the elixir of long life, of eternal life, is inside, trapped in our own ego. This is the eternal fight between darkness and light. To get wisdom. The synthesis of the fight between darkness and light is wisdom. And to be wise, it's necessary to first gradually, little by little, to know ourselves, to discover ourselves, living our own interaction with ourselves, to know all those, to discover, to detect all those wrong and subjective, negative inner states that we've been creating since previous human existences. If we seriously want to change, we need with urgency, with maximum urgency, to modify rightly those wrong states of our consciousness. As long as we don't change, we don't modify our inner wrong negative states, we'll continue living our lives as we've been doing. Even if we feel we are strong. That's self-deceiving. That absolute modification of those wrong states or regions complete transformations on the field of practical life. If we want to change our environment, please first change ourselves. It's more than impossible to change the events that are around us if firstly we don't change ourselves. Don't get identified with the different events we face in life daily. Because better than that is to know ourselves, to discover ourselves, to change that type of interaction that we have with the different events we face daily. When we work seriously on our own wrong inner states, obviously the different unpleasant events of life cannot affect us. Suffering disappears when we don't identify with the different events we face in life. How we don't get identified with the different events we face in life? Don't identify with our own psychological defects. Don't get identified with your own envies, rancors, revenges, sexual desires, worries, fears, but delete them with your Divine Mother. And the suffering that events cause will disappear. Right? For sure, there are good and bad events in life. There are better and worse events in life. That's true. That's true. So pain disappears when we don't identify with the problem that has presented in our lives. Right? Medically, internally, it's necessary to be closed. But it's only possible through the process of self-observation, reflection, analysis, detection of the different psychological flaws, psychological defects, and immediately the inner petition to our Divine Mother, mentally, sincerely, seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, my Divine Mother, please delete me this fear. If, for example, in a car accident, talking with an aggressive person, etc., etc., you feel that inside of you, you're feeling fear, revenge, resentment, rancor, hate, etc., etc. Deleting all those psychological defects, your reaction to that aggressive person or to that car accident will be with love and wisdom. Will be with consciousness and not with your ego. Right? Probably we should consider life as a continuous series of inner states, an authentic history of our lives is formed by all those inner states. Right? And remember something else, please. The external is only the reflection of the internal. The person who changes internally origins new order of things. The events won't be important as the way we react to them. The most important thing here in the different interaction we have daily with the different events we face in life is the way we react to them, and never the events themselves. Did we receive peacefully, calmly, those unpleasant events, those unpleasant words of an aggressive person? How did we react facing the infidelity of our couple? Were we jealous? Did we kill? Did we murder anyone? Are we in jail? Due to the way we reacted previously? Yes or no? Hospitals and cemeteries are full of people that unfortunately reacted in the wrong way. Right? When they faced external events in a wrong way. So the best gun that a man may use in life is a correct psychological state. The best gun that a man may use in life is a correct psychological state. For sure. It's possible to know who is a traitor if we are in the correct psychological state. If instead of suspecting about anyone, we are guided and led by our own intuition, which is a faculty from our own heart, we may know who is a traitor. For example, who is loyal to us or who is not. And the state of intuition, that inner state, is something correct, is something objective, is something wise. So let's try to learn to see life as a movie, right? Remember that everything passes in life. It's crucial, it's essential to face the most unpleasant event of life with a correct inner attitude, with a nice and wise mindset. We'll receive the benefits if we learn to see our lives as a movie, right? Different events with no value uh, probably will lead us to unpleasant events, hospitals, cemeteries, etc., etc. If we don't eliminate of our anxiety all those inner wrong states, alright? Remember something. Each event needs the correct bill. It is a precise psychological state. Thanks for attending again to this video conference. And if there is any question or any doubt about it, please let me know and shortly we'll respond to you again. Thank you and have a nice day.